At the top of this mountain lies a temple, and apparently the climb to get there is equally as beautiful as the temple itself. And so today, that is exactly what we're doing. We're not too far outside of Nagano right now, but if it's to be believed, the steps for this temple are not all proper steps and can get a little challenging and difficult, so we're gonna have to take it carefully and easy. Looks like there's been some rock stacking going on here, and actually, if you take a look at the entrance to the staircase here as well, there's more rocks being stacked. Now, there are a few temples like this throughout Japan, and this is one of the ones that I've always wanted to come and visit. And as we get up here, there's a whole bunch of hiking sticks right here. Now this is called Shaku Sonji Temple. And coming out to this space, we've got a little bit of a creek. And can't really see it that well, but there's a bit of a waterfall up there. We might be able to see it as we go up this way. Now we're gonna take this nice and slow and easy in the hopes that we don't go down, but a lot of the stairs are leaned forward. Luckily, we've got proper hiking boots on, and we've got a bit of a mountain crab here. And make sure we watch where we step as we go. In a previous video on this trip, I had kind of gone into an abandoned amusement park area. And as I got in there, there were bear warnings all over the place. And sure enough, as we got into the deepest part, I scared something, because you could hear it bang in the building and it was very large. And we ejected ourselves out of there. This space is actually nowhere near there. It's been quite a drive from there to get here, but it's been a beautiful, beautiful drive. Most drives in Japan, especially through the mountains, are going to be really nice, and this one was no exception. For today's hike and climb, I was hoping that we would have nicer weather. Oh yeah, this is, you can't tell how much of a slope this is, but you gotta make sure we don't slip on it. Got a bit of a waterfall right there, and then a bit more over here. What a beautiful space. I love this. We'll make our way around here, but luckily, because this is a fairly oftenly frequented temple area, I shouldn't have to have any worry of bears as we come up here. But it doesn't mean that we don't have to watch out for other things like snakes, boars, and monkeys. So we'll take it nice and easy as we go up and keep our eyes open along the way. Already I'm kind of loving this. Last year or the year before, a while back, we did the Torii Gate in the sky. I believe that was out in Kagawa Prefecture, Tenku no Tori. And the hike up to that was also a bit of a climb, but it wasn't as nice as this. In fact, this kind of reminds me of day one of our 1 million seconds across Japan adventure that we did. And it doesn't seem like we've gone that far up. We've already gained a bit of altitude. So, coming around, and here we go. Now I know that not everybody, even if you're able to come to Japan, not everybody has the energy or the physical capability to do this many stairs up the side of a mountain. So, doing these videos are ones that I really like, because early on in the days of starting all of this, like many, I just kind of wanted to show friends and family, especially my grandma, what Japan was like. And it very quickly evolved into the main channel. And so being able to come out and share these walks with you guys is always a ton of fun for me. So right now we're on one of the first days of our, I think day one of our 2025 road trip, at least spring, early summer 2025 road trip, and trying to hit as many locations like this as possible and just find every little thing that we can and share it. See, some areas of Japan have been dealing with over-tourism lately, but there are so many spaces like this that are, well, empty. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we came across one or two other people in the area, but if you really needed to, you could likely access this by train, bus, taxi, but it would be quite a trek. And that's how high up we are now. I really like this rock formation though. And it's just such a nice walk. But one of the goals on this channel is to show off as many of these non-touristy, non-crowded, off the beaten path spaces that I can. And I always invite, if you have any really good ones that you found, that either you found it through maybe Google Maps or on a trip of your own to Japan that is off the beaten path and you really enjoyed, I always encourage people to drop it down in the comments below. That way, people who come back and watch the video can add to their collection, and everybody kind of gets to check out a wider range of places than the Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto run. It's just something really nice always about walking through a forest though. And actually, so far, the steps are nowhere near as bad as I thought they would be. And literally just as I say that, we get into this area here that's kind of got a creek running through it. Still not bad. Should be able to just step over without issue. Oh, look at these rock formations here though. This on its own is worth the hike. Just coming up here and taking a peek at all of this. Such a treat. See, I get bear cave vibes here, but we'll clean the lens, sorry. But, again, should be okay. There's no warnings of bears on this mountain. Usually, if you're curious, a lot of the local cities will have websites. And I'm always curious about these mountain crabs. A lot of these local cities will have their own websites, and more often than not, they'll have bear information on them. Or you can just kind of Google the city name and find bear information on your own. But, oh, I just love how it looks. Look at this. Somebody has gone through a great deal of time and effort to stack an absolute ton of rocks. It's got to be multiple people at this point. Some of them are kind of basic, and some of them are a little more like this. But really, the stairs for this aren't as bad as I was warned. I expected much, much worse. On the first day of the 1 million adventure back in 2024, we climbed stairs to a temple not entirely dissimilar to this one in the rain, and coming down just felt like such a risk. There was a lot more of this, and more crabs down here. There are so many of these little crabs all over the place. Did you know that mountain crabs were a thing? I think when you think crabs, most people think beach or river. You don't really think climbing up to a mountain you're gonna come across crabs, but I wasn't gonna bring the umbrella originally, but I figured if I didn't, we'd have to clean the lens a lot more often. And even just looking backwards, looking down this way, the green is just so nice. Some of these steps are sloped, and one of the reasons they do this is to allow water to run off and not kind of puddle up and accumulate. But it means that you need to take extra special caution as you're climbing. There we are. I like the winding nature of it. And as we come up here, the rain's getting a little bit stronger. So now I am glad that I brought this. There we are. You can hear the water running from here and see it coming down over there. And we continue up this way. Didn't slip. Yet another crab. So many. In going to the abandoned amusement park and kind of moderately quickly ejecting myself on account of the potentially dangerous animal, I kind of rushed out without paying very close attention to where I was stepping. And when I got back to my camper van, I found myself covered in leeches. Yes, lovely mountain leeches. And luckily, this time, so many crabs. This time, I was a little more prepared, but still one or two managed to get through the cuff, and it can get quite itchy. But here's our first section of temple right here. There are multiple, by the way. We'll head up and take a look. This might be one of my new favorite spaces, actually. It's very, very relaxing, even in the rain. Very calm. Yes, I struggled to fit the camera through there. This one should be slightly easier. There we go. And then going up is easy, but it's always going down the steps that I need to take extra caution. Also, when I do these, I often get, oh, there's so many. A lot of questions about one of them was ready to fight me. Sorry, bro, that is not a battle you would win. You are a bunch of tiny crab. I always get questions about, well, what boots do you use? And what camera do you use? And usually I have that stuff linked in the description box for anybody who wants to check it out. I am so distracted by the countless crabs we are coming across. Every single step I take, I need to be extra careful. I don't want to just crunch one. And some of them aren't even moving either. Some of them are just hanging out. Well, that's a nice froggy sound. This wall here tells me we're getting closer and closer to the main section of temple. And there's even a bit of a gate up here. Well, as you would expect, when you get up here, there's not a ton of signal to really check where you are, but there actually should be more beyond this. Oh boy. Little crabs, come on. Here we go. There we are. See, the one we're looking for is hanging off the edge of a cliff. We've got a little bit of a staircase up here. Let's step up and take a look. I think we had a lizard there. Japan has some beautiful, beautiful lizards as well. I love the yamori. Coming back down this way, trying not to fall. There we go. So we got no fire, no drones, no cars. I think that's our main section right over there. But even just this section of the temple is breathtaking. This makes a lot of sense. No drone zone. I often like to get up and see it from another angle, but between this place definitely getting some visitors, the noise, and just the fact that if you lose the drone in this mountain, it's going to be a pain for them. I can understand that. I just love how they're basically built into the side of the wall as well. It's breathtaking. And then we have this dude. He kind of reminds me of the demon dog from Ghostbusters. The original Ghostbusters. This has most certainly been a very worthwhile walk so far. Just look at this view. Oh, that's a big step. And then we get to walk through this section of cave here. But for that, I will temporarily put away the umbrella. Take a peek at the area we just came from. This one is quite literally built right into the wall here and is padlocked. And then we are right through here. Oh, there's a nice cool breeze coming through here, and it's pretty low, so kind of gotta duck as you go through. As we come out on the other side, we get this. Oh, at first I was a little disappointed that I didn't get the beautiful blue skies to contrast the red in the background. I really wanted that. But even with the way the clouds look right now, this is worth it. This is beautiful. And we'll come up to these steps here. Oh, ho, ho. Something tells me it's just about time for the umbrella again. This is the main spot right here. If we step around the edge, we can see the rest of it as well. Even that one down there. And it's all just such a visual treat. Also slightly unnerving, to be honest, because I know that there's nothing below us. So, a lot of trust in the wooden structure. I want to get one more view of kind of going back through the other way. Oh, wow. Let's come through over here. So even if you don't have like a off the beaten path place that either you've found or that you've experienced on a trip, if you had one space in Japan, one particular temple, shrine, location, abandoned spot, whatever it might be, and you could only do that one thing, what would that be for you? Definitely drop that in the comments. I'm actually really surprised at the number of people who have gone to visit the abandoned school out in Shikoku where Yotam roasts his coffee. I get fairly regular updates of people going out there, visiting and staying. And it's really great because there is a ton to do in the area. Oh, nicked my head a little bit. Just a tiny, tiny bit. I forgot to crouch. I just got too focused on the view here. But if you have any of those spots, please let me know. I would love to hear everybody's one go-to place. Honestly, I bring up the abandoned school because for all the temples and shrines and everything else that I've experienced in Japan, if I could only hit one space, it would probably Either be that or something like this, like a beautiful nature walk where you can, I guess it also depends on how much time you have, right? Do you have a day? Do you have an hour? So if you have a place that you'd like to spend an entire day, let me know. If you have something like this where you only have 20, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, let me know. But either way, leave me something down below. Thank you so much for joining. The entire playlist of walks we're doing on this adventure, as well as last year's adventure, will be linked down below. And we'll see you again real soon.